day 61. And my waist is about 26 1/4. So my goal is to get down to a 24-inch waist. So I have about 2 inches left to go, but I know I'll get there if I just keep up the good work. Hips are still 37. My hips are being stubborn. My goal is 35 or 36-inch hips. Probably 35, so I would say I have about 2 more inches to go in my hips. Thighs are 20 1/2. Weight is 132 exactly. So that's over a ½ a pound lighter than yesterday. So I'm getting smaller. One major important thing that's going to keep you persevering on any weight loss journey is you have to believe that you will reach your goal. You have to trust and believe that you will reach your goal sooner or later, as long as you keep up the good work and stay on track. I'm perfectly confident that I will drop these extra 2 inches as long as I keep exercising every day and keep eating non-fattening food. It's just logical. Eat non-fattening food and exercise, your body will shrink back down to its natural, normal weight. Your natural body weight is a thin weight. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Nobody is naturally obese. That's not right. Nobody is naturally obese. Everybody's natural frame is thin. I hear women say all the time, just accept me for my natural figure. Well, your natural figure is a thin figure. The reason why women and men become obese is because they overeat on fattening food and they don't exercise. Okay, there's nothing natural about that. So you can't go through life believing that you're just a naturally big person and you're destined to be overweight, you're destined to be at risk for heart disease and all these other things. That's not right. Okay? Cut out the fattening food and exercise, take care of your body. Your body will shrink back down to its natural weight, which is a thin weight. Okay? That may sound harsh, but it's absolutely true. Okay? So you can do it. You can be healthy. I think it's sad that people have just accepted and just given up hope and truly think that they were just born to be a large person and there's nothing they can do about it. I think that's sad. And it's incorrect. So breakfast for me is some dates and some cashews. Okay, and I'm not starving myself. I'm eating. I eat all day, all the time. So one thing that can be a challenge when you're trying to eat raw or just eat healthy is going out to eat. Going out to eat is pretty common. A lot of people go out to eat with their friends and family. Come here, Koopy. My buddy. Oh, buddy boy. My buddy boy. Say hi, Cooper. He doesn't like me smooching all over him. You don't. But I do it anyway. Okay, going out to eat. Once you settle into eating raw and you know the difference, in what to order. Going out to eat can be easy and ordering healthy. Like yesterday, we went out to eat at a Mexican restaurant. Mexican, bunch of cheese, bunch of flour tortillas, bunch of fried tortilla chips, bunch of oil, fried rice, very, 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 very fattening food. It is Mexican food. But it is possible to order healthy. So, I actually had some lettuce yesterday. I had some romaine lettuce, which I very rarely eat now. I usually just eat fruit. But since we're going out to eat, I thought, I'll just eat it. I'll just have a salad. So I ordered some romaine lettuce, big bowl of romaine lettuce, topped with guacamole and pico de gallo. I normally would have ordered just some sliced avocado, but they didn't have that. They just had it was already all made in the guacamole. Cooper. Go on. Such a pain sometimes. So they already had the guacamole already made. They didn't have any just avocados back there. So yeah, normally I would have just had the sliced avocados. And pico de gallo is just raw tomatoes. And I don't really eat onions, but I ate some onions yesterday because it was in the pico de gallo. So, entirely raw meal. Salad, guacamole, and pico de gallo with just tomatoes and onions and cilantro and lime juice. And it was delicious. And I put some hot sauce on there. They had this pureed hot sauce with, it was like pureed pineapple and peppers. And it was absolutely delicious. Nothing fried, no oil. Everything was totally raw. So normally the waiters and the waitresses are pretty nice, and they will work with you when you're trying to customize a plate. So it is possible to eat raw and healthy when you go out to eat. And like if you go to a Chinese place, and you can order fruitarian too. Like if you go to a Chinese place, I'll order. They usually have some cashews and some peanuts at Chinese places. And I'll order some peas. Any kind of pea pod is a fruit because it contains seeds. Peas and peppers. Peppers are a fruit. Bell peppers. And pineapple. Chinese places usually have pineapple. So just a big bowl of all that, and I get some sesame seeds sprinkled on top of it. I eat fruit seeds as well. And I love sesame seeds. I love the flavor. So I get pineapple and peas, the snow peas and the green beans, and the bell pepper and sesame seeds sprinkled on top of that. Delicious with the cashews and the peanuts. Tons of food, all completely raw and all fruit-based, healthy. So it's actually very easy to order healthy when you go out to eat. It can be done. So, just if you have the will, there is a way. That's an old saying, but it's absolutely true. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to eat healthy, you will eat healthy. You will find a way. You will find a way. Now he wants back in. All right. Cooper, come on. Very indecisive cat. Okay, so where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to eat healthy, you will find a way to eat healthy. Absolutely. And you can eat your meal and leave the restaurant feeling good, feeling just as light as when you went in there, just as light leaving as when you went in there. Nice and full, and you don't feel heavy, you don't feel fat, you don't feel greasy. And that's a good feeling. A lot of, before I went vegan, when I would go out to eat, after I got done eating, I was practically immobile because all of the heavy cheese and oil and grease and fried foods that I would eat, I would just sit back in my chair like, ugh, just feeling so heavy. And of course, I'd probably gained 5 pounds. But when you eat healthy, you will leave the place feeling just as light as when you went in. And all you did was nourish your body, and you didn't gain any weight. All you did was nourish your body. So that's what happens when you eat healthy and when you eat raw. actually really delicious if you just get it in front of you and eat it. Sometimes you're thinking to yourself, you try to psych yourself out and thinking, oh, I don't want raw food, I'm tired of raw food, it's just flavorless. There's no flavor in it, and I just want something more satisfying. But if you reject that little devil in your head and go for the raw food, you will actually be so happy that you chose to eat healthy. Okay, so it's very easy to go out, to be around people and go out with friends and eat healthy. It can be done if you really want it. Okay? And a lot of people, well, all overweight people struggle with abdominal fat. And I just want to read a few things about abdominal fat. So there's subcutaneous fat, which is, the fat that you can actually pinch on the outside of your body. I have a little bit left. Like I said, I'm not quite done losing weight. I have about 2 more inches to go in my waist. So I have a little bit of that left. And there's visceral fat, which lies underneath. It sits right on top of your organs. So this is, I'm on the Harvard Medical School Family Guide website. Okay. Abdominal or visceral fat is a particular concern because it is a key player in a variety of health problems. Much more so than subcutaneous fat, which is this kind of fat. Visceral fat, on the other hand, lies out of reach deep within the abdominal cavity where it pads the spaces between abdominal organs. Visceral fat has been linked to metabolic disturbances and increased risk for cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. In women, it is also associated with breast cancer and the need for gallbladder surgery. Oh, that sounds like a blast. I already read that. Fat accumulated in the lower body is subcutaneous, while fat in the abdominal area is largely visceral. As the evidence against abdominal fat mounts, researchers and clinicians are trying to measure it, correlate it with health risk, and monitor changes that occur with age and overall weight gain or loss. The good news is that visceral fat yields fairly easy to exercise and diet, with benefits ranging from lower blood pressure to more favorable cholesterol levels. Subcutaneous fat, located at the waist, can be frustratingly difficult to budge, but in normal weight people, it is generally not considered as much of a health threat as visceral fat is. Research suggests that fat cells, particularly abdominal fat cells, are biologically active. For example, it's appropriate to think of fat as an endocrine organ or gland, producing hormones and other substances that can profoundly affect our health. So this fat is active, and it's not just inactive fat cells that are just lying there. It's active, and it's making changes in your body, harmful changes. Although scientists are still deciphering the roles of individual hormones, it's becoming clear that excess body fat, especially abdominal fat, disrupts the normal balance and functioning of these hormones. So it messes with your hormones. A large stomach changes your hormones, and not for the better. Scientists are also learning that visceral fat pumps out immune system chemicals called cytokines, ketokines, I don't know how you say that. For example, tumor necrosis factor and interleukin-6 that can increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. These and other biochemicals are thought to have deleterious effects on cells, sensitivity to insulin, blood pressure, and blood clotting. One reason visceral excess One reason excess visceral fat is so harmful could be its location near the portal vein, which carries blood from the intestinal area to the liver. Substances released by visceral fat, including free fatty acids, enter the portal vein and travel to the liver, where they can influence the production of blood lipids. Visceral fat is directly linked with higher total cholesterol and LDL, bad cholesterol, lower HDL, good cholesterol, and insulin resistance. Insulin resistance means that your body's muscle and liver cells don't respond adequately to normal insulin levels of insulin, the pancreatic hormone that carries glucose to the body cells. Glucose levels in the blood rise, heightening the risk for diabetes. The starting point for bringing weight under control in general and combating abdominal fat in particular is regular, moderate intensity physical activity, at least 30 minutes per day, and perhaps up to 60 minutes per day.
What, baby? What? 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 What?
He's meowing at me. I don't know why. Okay, strength training, exercising with weights may also help fight abdominal fat. Spot exercising, such as doing sit-ups, can tighten abdominal muscles, but it won't get at visceral fat. Okay, so cardio, they're saying cardio is the best thing to fight visceral fat. Visceral fat is way underneath here. Diet is also important. Pay attention to portion size. Well, I don't agree with that. Again, Harvard, they're not really on board with the whole vegan thing yet. They're still promoting the alleged false benefits of eating animal products. So Harvard is not a vegan institution yet. They do promote it, but they're not fully promoting it. So portion size, no, that's not right. You can eat as much as you want on a raw vegan diet, okay? So don't pay attention to that. And emphasize complex carbohydrates, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Well, you don't really have to eat whole grains. And lean protein over simple carbohydrates such as white bread. See, that's completely whack right there. They're promoting white bread, which is completely unhealthy. Refined grain pasta. I would not really recommend pasta. It's a processed food. And sugary drinks. Oh, they're saying over. Okay, never mind, sorry. Emphasize complex carbohydrates, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and lean protein. Lean protein, they're referring to meat, so don't worry about lean protein. Protein in a raw vegan diet would be nuts. Really, all fruits contain protein. So they're saying over simple carbohydrates such as white bread. Okay, my bad, I misread that. I thought they were promoting white bread. Over simple carbohydrates such as white bread, refined grain pasta, and sugary drinks. Replacing saturated fats. Again, healthy saturated fats are healthy, like the saturated fat in a coconut. They usually don't distinguish. They just say all saturated fat. Cooper, you're noisy. Cooper. They don't really distinguish healthy saturated fat with unhealthy saturated fat. Unhealthy saturated fat would be the saturated fat found in a big slab of cow muscle. Healthy saturated fat. This is very healthy saturated fat. Okay, so they usually don't distinguish, but if you're knowledgeable, you will be able to distinguish the difference. Replacing saturated fats and trans fats with polyunsaturated fats can also help. Again, trans fats. We get trans fats in breast milk when we're breastfed as babies. So that would really be the only type of healthy trans fat you ever get. Anything beyond that. Trans fat is found naturally in all animal products. Okay? So the only healthy trans fat is the trans fat you get in your mother's breast milk when she feeds you as a baby. Hopefully she breastfeeds you as a baby. I was breastfed. I'm very thankful that my mother was insightful and caring enough to breastfeed me. And I think it probably made a difference in my health. Okay, so there's trans fat in breast milk, but that's the only kind of healthy trans fat, I would say, you can consume. So there you go right there. They are saying that healthy diet and exercise will get you healthy. So there is something you can do about it. There is something you can do about it. A lot of entities out there, like these plus-size modeling industries and these food companies, try to make people feel like you can just live healthy as an obese person and there's nothing you can do about it. That's just your natural figure and your natural frame. We come in all shapes and sizes. How many times do we hear that? Yes, we come in short and tall, but not large and small. We're all naturally small people. Okay? So there is something you can do about it. Healthy diet and exercise. Nobody is destined to be a large, unhealthy person. Scientists hope to develop drug treatments that target abdominal fat. Again, Harvard, they're very smart, but they're also very ignorant at the same time. You don't need drugs to lose weight. You don't need drugs to lose weight. They just said it. Healthy diet and exercise will help you lose weight, not drugs. These scientists and these doctors and scientists get together and they create a pill and they want you to buy the pill. It's a huge scam. Don't buy pills to lose weight. They want to make money off you. Okay? Exercise and eat right. For now, experts stress that lifestyle, especially exercise, is the very best way to fight visceral fat. Okay? So it's absolutely, your weight and your health is absolutely under your control. It's not just out of your hands, okay? Just love yourself enough, respect yourself enough to take care of your health. Younger people, you may not be feeling the effects now. Well, I'm healthy, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't have heart disease, I don't have diabetes. Diseases normally start to hit people later on in life. After a lifetime of eating unhealthy, it will start to hit you around, 40, 50, 60, 70. That's when it usually starts to bombard people. So to prevent this doom on the horizon, eat healthy and exercise. It's absolutely under your control. And it's absolutely up to you. And don't take pills to lose weight. I did that before. I remember when I was getting chubby as a young teenager. When I first started getting into puberty and all that, I just started eating a lot and I bulked out. I gained several pounds and I was chubby. Like, you would look at me and you would describe me as a chubby little girl. And I remember I would take these diet pills and I would do the slim fast. And it was just miserable. And I would lose weight maybe a little bit, but I would always gain it back. On a raw vegan diet, you can keep eating as much as you want. You never have to starve yourself. You never have to take any pills. And it's so much more pleasant because you can eat. You don't have to starve yourself. I remember one time I was so desperate to lose weight, I actually tried just going on a liquid diet and just laying in bed and not moving, because I thought the more I get up and move around, the more hungry I'm going to get. So I literally tried just laying in bed and not moving and just drinking liquids to lose weight. I mean, how miserable is that? So it's absolutely doable. Eat plenty of healthy food. And basically, it's so simple. Just eat raw fruits and vegetables. Eat raw fruits and vegetables. When you're at a restaurant and you're looking at the menu, look for all the vegetables they have to offer and just pick and choose. Okay, can I have green beans? Usually I look down on the side orders because usually the main entrees are filled with animals, right? So I usually just skip down and look at the side orders, say I want this and this and this, and please don't cook it. Just bring it to me all raw. Okay? So it's absolutely in your hands and it's absolutely doable. And it's really not that difficult. It's not that difficult once you get used to it and you get going. Okay? So don't ever believe that you're just destined to be a large person and there's nothing you can do about it. There is something you can do about it. It's all up to you. And don't stress out about it. I'm just reading you the health risk. This is, reading stuff like this is what motivates me to not want to carry a lot of weight, because it's dangerous. How many people in your family do you know have had a stroke, have had a heart attack, are suffering from intestinal bowel problems, fibromyalgia, diabetes? How many people do you know are suffering from all these things? That's a result of not eating healthy and not taking care of yourself. Okay? So, you have to start with respecting yourself enough to want yourself to be healthy. Okay? And don't ever feel like you have to not eat when you're hungry. As long as you eat. So many people don't believe me when I tell them you can eat as much as you want on a raw vegan diet and keep losing weight. No. If you eat too many calories, it doesn't matter what you eat. If you eat too much kale, you'll gain weight. Okay, just think about that for a second. That's insanity, okay? You cannot gain weight on kale. You cannot gain weight on apples. Just try it for yourself. Okay? Eat as much as you want and lose weight as long as you keep it raw and exercise every day. And you will get down to that thin person that's inside of you that wants to shine. Okay? The thin, healthy person. But again, like I said in the beginning of this video, you have to believe that you will get there. Okay? The most important thing is you have to want it, and you have to believe that you will get there. You have to trust that as long as you keep up the good work, keep up the exercise, and eating healthy, that you will get there.